Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, sometimes you just have to knuckle up and kick some ass. And if we're within the sound of my voice, guess what? That must mean you are in the seats with some once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast, where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of entertainment industry professionals. We pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more, in a light and in a conversational fashion. And you know, if you like how we do things around here, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you do, because let's face it, you're listening right now. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Give us the old 5-star rating on your podcast provider of choice. We're available pretty much everywhere. Places like Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, and plus we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel. So you can give us a like and subscribe there as well. We would absolutely appreciate it. Also, don't hesitate to check us out on social media. We're on the Facebook. We're on the Twitter. We're on the Instagram. We're on the TikTok, and we're on the Letterboxd for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I do dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca, for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the moving image at large. Because, you know, if we love to watch it and write about it and talk about it, we love it even more when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So please, pay us a visit. On this episode, we got a good one. It is in theaters now. It's done its festival run. It is... so the film is called Sisu, from our friends over at Lionsgate, or Cineplex Films up here in Canada, and it takes us to the last desperate days of World War II, where a solitary prospector crosses paths with the Nazis on a scorched-earth retreat in northern Finland. But when the Nazis steal his gold, they quickly discover that they have just tangled with no ordinary miner. And while there isn't a direct translation for the Finnish word of Sisu, this man is a legendary ex-commando who will embody the meaning of that word, and he will knuckle down with courage and determination in the face of overwhelming odds to get his gold back, no matter what the Nazis throw at him. This man is a one-man death squad, and he will go above and beyond in entertaining and fantastic ways to get his gold back. This is Carnage Spectacle 101, and it is a fantastic piece of cinema, which I cannot recommend highly enough. Go check it out in your local theaters right now. But first, maybe you should sit down and enjoy our talk with the film's director, Jalmari Helander, who has done some really fantastic stuff. If you didn't already know, he's done he did films like Rare Exports, he did Big Game, and now we've got this. This guy is a filmmaker to be watched, because he's kind of fearless, and I kind of love him. But go watch Sisu in the theaters. But first, enjoy our talk with Jalmari Helander, because between you and me, it is a darn good one. Man, first off, just thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate this.
No problem. Thank you.
Now, I mean, obviously, congrats on the movie, man. It is a hell of a ride. Like, walk me through the origin of you wanting the story.
There's a lot of answers to that, but one of the main reasons is behind me, like fresh blood, because that really made me like a huge impact when I was a kid, and I spent basically all my days in the forest with a knife after that movie, many years. But I'm really glad I'm finally in that position with my career to making an action film in Finland with my own style. And I don't know, I think there's something cool with the idea of Sisu, to explaining that to like foreign people in a way, and use that thing like an almost as a superhero way. But I don't know, there's I don't know. Did I answer even your question at all? But
No, but you did though, man, because I mean, honestly, there is something so beautiful about having a character with such a singular focus. And I mean, it's one of those things where we see so many movies these days that almost get a little too overcomplicated. Like this goes down to almost the bare essentials of keep it simple, stupid. And I mean, I think that's such a beautiful thing to be able to put out there.
Yeah, it was really key thing for me to when I had this idea. A minute after, I knew exactly what kind of a film I'm gonna make. Like it's totally different idea than all the other ideas I have had for a script. So because it's so straightforward, but it doesn't make it like easier to write. But it's really good to just like have that kind of simple idea.
No, absolutely, man. No, I mean, obviously, in watching the film, I mean, I was so happy to see people like Jorma and Ani back. And I mean, obviously, that's got to be fun for you to be able to bring those guys back to yet another feature. But seeing Axel really sort of brings this different energy. Can you talk a little bit about like narrowing in on him to be our sort of quintessential bad guy, because he is so good in the role?
We had when he had first time he read the script and he called me, and we had a really good conversation of like not to over explain anything, like just do it with your face, basically, like being tired, being curious, and we had an idea of using all kinds of stuff, like that he has a family in Germany, but he's too fucked up now to go back with them and all kinds of stuff. But we just threw everything away and went straight for the gold in a way. Like that he also has only one thing in mind, like I have to get the gold. That's my way out of the war and what's happening after the war. So we were pretty straightforward with it, and Axel understood immediately what I'm trying to do.
Was it good for you? Like, I mean, as a filmmaker, is it always nice to sort of have familiar faces like Jorma and Ani sort of back when you're making something like this, or is it just a question of, you know, I mean, I guess trying to, you know, bring along people who helped you in the beginning as well? Because I mean, just again, I always love it when actors get to come back for directors' different films.
Basically, I couldn't have done this with anyone else than Jorma. Like he was in my mind in the second I had the idea, and he was the first person I called that about this idea. And of course, he's an old man now, like over 60 years old, and but he's still quite a motherfucker in a movie. Like when you see his face and his determination and how well you can understand what this guy is going through and what he's thinking without him saying a word, that's not easy to pull off.
No, and I mean, you know, you're right, because it wouldn't have worked if it was like this virile young man. It had to be someone with experience. And I mean, I love the grit and the grime and just sort of the real. I mean, this movie felt like 90 minutes of, you know, Stallone in the mud from First Blood. Like it really had that gritty feel to it. How important was it for you to make this a dirty film?
Really important, and that was something I was like saying almost every day, that put some more dirt into it. Like that face is not dirty enough, those clothes are not dirty enough, that car is not dirty enough. Like everything had to be like in the end of the war, that everyone has gone through like so many bad things, and now they meet, and let's see what happens with it. It was really important to have that kind of like after war bad thing going on.
Even in a story as gritty and as dark as this, there's still humor. Like, how do you manage to keep humor in your stories? Because I mean, obviously, to varying extremes, you've told some very serious stories, but they've all had a sense of humor at the same time.
Well, people keep asking me that, and that's something I actually can't answer in a way. That's something that just comes when I do it, because I'll try to be, and I am serious with all the time what I'm doing, uh, but I want to have that kind of tone of not being over serious with the thing, and also having fun with the action. Uh, so it's something that comes naturally from me. I don't know, would I be able to do like a really drama kind of war film without any humor and really like documentary kind of style. I probably couldn't pull that off. This is something I do, like it comes naturally. It's hard to explain.
Now, I mean, for you, obviously, with your very distinctive style, like, how do you see that translating into different genres? Like, do you have a sci-fi movie in your back pocket, or do you feel yourself going along sort of a similar line as you have up to this point?
Actually, I wrote 6 years after Big Game one sci-fi film which we were supposed to shoot when the pandemic came,
Uh,
and 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 it all fell apart. And from that anger, Sisu was like coming, uh, and we probably gonna shoot the sci-fi film in the end of the summer if we get the cast in place. But I have all kinds of stories coming up now, and let's see what happens first.
Now, I mean, just to put a bow on this, was that man behind you basically the reason you got into filmmaking? Because if so, I think that's a beautiful thing.
He is one of the main reasons to blame what happened to me.
Well, I'll keep blaming him, and I'll keep be thanking you for the films, and keep them coming, brother. Congrats on the work, and thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD, Blu-ray rental, or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu-ray needs.